Well, I learned something interesting today. Today I learned that you can't just go live on YouTube, you have to... Okay, that's something you're going to hear me do a lot. I do a lot of voice to text, which means that I punctuate when I'm talking. So that comma there, that's something you're going to hear. But I was going to go live and show you what I was doing, but according to YouTube, I have to wait 24 hours for them to set up my account to be live. So I'm going to do it this way this time, and maybe tomorrow I'll do something live. But what I've done is I've taken this stencil and I've used the fired brick, and not this one, obviously, because this one's clean, but one of my blending brushes, and I've just used this and I just kept moving it around this way and that and whatever, and I got this. And now I'm going to try blending with this mustard seed, which is something I haven't done yet. I'm hoping this is one of my juicier pads, because some of my pads are juicy and some of them aren't, and I think I just bought old pads, which is why they're not juicy, but that's okay because I have the re-inkers for all of my pads. But I just wanted to give it a little bit of extra color. And I kind of want the yellow to be kind of dark. So I'm just going to put it in a couple places, maybe as a little accent. And what I'm doing is I'm making 4 of these because I'm going to make a set of thank you cards. And hopefully they turn out okay. But there's that one. And I'm just randomly putting this. I saw a really cool quote that I thought was really great. And those of us who suffer from mental health issues, this might be something that may or may not help you. I don't know. I'm going to put it out there. If it helps you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to keep on saying things about mental health and how I am coping with my mental health issues. And if any of these hints help anybody out there, that's great. I'm not saying that this is for everybody. I'm not saying that this is what you should do. I'm saying this is what I am doing. And if it helps you in any way, great. Even if it's just watching my videos and watching the, calm nature in which I put these things together. My list of mental health issues include autism, for one. I have severe PTSD from chronic trauma, culminating in one acute trauma about 2 years ago that just sent me off the edge, and I'm now a shut-in. So I have panic disorder with agoraphobia coupled with anxiety disorder, and I also have abandonment anxiety disorder. And I am very, very, very socially inept, obviously, because autistic people tend to be socially inept. It's not every autistic person that's socially inept, but for me, as an autistic person, it's very hard for me to understand what society is asking me to do. And because society is not logical, it is extremely difficult for me to learn what it is that society wants me to do. People who have that knowledge a priori, which means, you don't remember learning it, you just know it. So people who have that a priori knowledge, they just wander through society as if nothing's going on in their life, and they're perfectly fine and dandy and wonderful, and they get society completely. And then there's people like me who have to learn absolutely every possible social interaction, and that can be extremely difficult because the rules change. One of the ways that I described it was, if I saw you holding something and you dropped it, there is a myriad of social questions and social cues that have to be noticed and observed and analyzed and addressed before you go to help that person, even if you go to help that person. Like, how far away are they? If you came up too fast, would it look like you were rushing them, trying to steal what they dropped, or rather than just helping them? Because that's happened to me. I went up to somebody to try to help them, and they thought I was trying to pick up and steal the stuff that they had dropped, which leads to another one. How valuable is the item that was dropped? Because the greater the value of the item, it seems, the less likely people are to want your help. Did the item break when it fell? Did the item scatter when it fell? It's just all these different questions that people who understand society can just look at, address. They don't even know that they're analyzing that and answering all of those questions so quickly. I don't think I'm going to move this one around. This is the other stencil that I'm going to use. You know, they look at these things and they just know what they're supposed to do. They know whether or not they're supposed to help that person, the level of help that that person needs, the quantity of help, you know, how close they should get to the person. All of this information, I just don't understand. And like I said, it keeps changing. And now with everything changing so quickly, there's no way. I can't keep up. But autism is not the only issue that I have that causes social issues. And the other one also causes social issues. I don't have a brush for this one. Hold on a sec. I got to find a new brush. Oh, found one. Got a new brush. I keep the little packages that the brushes come in, but I cut off the little tab so I don't have to keep opening it and shutting it. So I just cut that off and throw it away. But this other learning disability, or I used to call it a learning difference when I spoke to people about it, causes me to really not know what's going on in society or how to react in society, because it's difficult for me to I mean, how much do I want to put out there? Do I actually want to say it? No, not yet. I don't want to say it yet. It's just, I have 2 learning disabilities that cause social problems, and both of them are just awful and cause massive learning issues. Oh, I should have taped this down. Oh, dear. Oh, hopefully I can keep it in place because I don't want to move this one around. I just want to have different thicknesses of the ink on them. I want it really light and soft in some places, and I want it really dark and heavy in some places. And it's not like I want it dark and heavy in the center. I kind of want it dark and heavy on the corners, and then lighter as it goes by. You know, just kind of practicing. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I want it light in places, dark in places, but because I didn't tape this down, I'm having difficulty keeping it in the same spot. Anyway, so functioning society is not something that I'm terribly good at. In fact, it's something that I'm distinctively horrible at. And because I don't function well in society, and because I have 2 society-affecting and social-affecting learning disorders or learning disabilities or learning differences, however you want to put it, well, one of my favorite phrases is screwed, blued, and tattooed. Or screwed, blued, and tattooed, because I never know whether or not I'm doing something right. And I have this phenomenal memory bank. And a lot of people think it's because I just have a really good memory. And I do. I have a really good memory. I think I got that from my dad. But it's also because I want to remember all these faux pas and all of these times when people got mad at me, to see if I can sit there and analyze it and figure out why they got mad at me. And it's something that I've done since a kid. I mean, I was 2 or 3 years old. Yeah, maybe 4 years old. And we were visiting family. And yes, my memories do go back that far. And we were visiting family, and they told me a joke. Well, they didn't tell me a joke. I was sitting in the room when they told a joke, and I didn't understand it. So my brain memorized that joke, and I held on to it until I was about an 8th grader, you know, maybe 7th, 8th grade, sometime in middle school, when I finally understood the joke. But when the term that I needed to understand the joke was taught to me, immediately that joke snapped right back into my head. And I did snap my fingers, but I snapped them softly because I know that loud and quick noises bother me. So if they bother you, I try not to do them. And if they don't bother you, I'm sorry you didn't get to hear my snap. But the joke was, why is Ireland the richest country in the world? And the answer is because its capital's been Dublin for over 100 years. I didn't get it. You know, little kids don't understand capital, and they don't understand the concept of doubling. But when I was in middle school, these terms came up in a class, and my brain pulled that joke back out of my memory banks, and I understood it. And unfortunately, since I'm socially inept, I started laughing because I thought it was funny, but it wasn't the appropriate time to laugh, and I got in trouble, and I got sent to the principal's office, blah, 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 blah. And when I tried to explain what was going on, nobody really believed what I had said because they didn't think that that was possible. And it's been a constant struggle for me, constant. And then, like I said, 2 years ago, straw broke the camel's back. Now a shut-in. Panic disorder with agoraphobia. That is beautiful. I love that. That is going to be a gorgeous background. I want to make another one of those, but I don't want to use this color again. So, just long time, constant struggles, trying to get along in society and move along with society in a way that society finds me acceptable. And let's just say, nope, no. That's a hard no from society, and it's a hard no from the people in society. And for a very long time, I masked, I was hypervigilant, I tried to do what I could to make sure that I fit in with what society wanted me to do and what society told me to do. But because society is illogical and because the social rules really don't make sense and are very constantly changing, this is the way I keep my little blotter moist. Sorry if you don't like that word, but this is the way I keep it damp. How about that? I just keep it in a little pill bottle, and then every time I need it, I can go to it, and I can make one of these little towelettes last 2 or 3 days that way. So anyway, I got that color off. I think I'm going to do a purple. I've been in a very purple mood lately. I think that'll be pretty. And so this is the Wilted Violet. Oh, the last one that I used. I got these off of Temu, and they were actually quite expensive for Temu, but I got them in their calendar game, so I got them for free. This is the Alina Craft O2 Oxide. This one's called Carved Jade. I mean, it's cheaper than Tim Holtz Ranger's Distress Oxides, but it was still expensive. I think it was like $60 for 36 of these. You know, for Temu, that's expensive. You know, Temu does have some expensive items, but they work pretty well. I know, baby. I know, Mr. Bear. I know, Mr. Bear, but there's no food back here. There's no food back here for Mr. Bear. Oh, Mr. Bear's not going to let Mommy do any crafting right now, is she? Oh, silly Mr. Bear. Oh, you silly Binkus Dinkus. You are so funny. You are so fun. Don't lay on those. Oh, no. He likes to lay on my cards, and I always have to make sure that he hasn't bent them. Well, it appears that I'm done crafting for right now. You are so silly. You are a silly little Mr. Bear. If you haven't met him yet, this is Baby Bear. We do have a Mama Bear, and we did have a Papa Bear, but Papa Bear has passed away. And then we have a dog named Goldilocks. And so it was Goldilocks and the 3 bears. We just thought it was cute. We're kind of silly that way, my husband and I. But, oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I hate it when I do that, especially when I'm doing these, because I don't have the spoons to edit videos, so this is just going to go up the way it is. Yeah. Okay, I've lost my train of thought. My anxiety just peaked because I've lost my train of thought, and if I keep doing this, I'm going to have a panic attack. So I'm going to end this one here, and I'm going to post it, and maybe in 24 hours I'll be able to do something live.